I won't tell you our story ended with fireworks. It ended with a Tuesday, which is better. Tuesdays make a life. That morning I poured coffee, cracked the window to let winter air bite the kitchen, and saw the porch light holding steady in the glass. Linda walked in wearing the old green sweater I like and asked if I had time to help carry donations to the church. I said yes, not because I'm a saint, but because we plan differently now, together. Before we left, I told her the sentence I had been working toward since Baxter's. I forgive you, I said. Not the weak kind that's really a ledger entry, the kind that steps back from the courtroom and walks into a workshop. Forgiveness isn't forgetting, I added. It's permission to build. She cried, not with drama, but like a person who'd put down a heavy box at the end of a long hallway. I felt my shoulders drop a notch I hadn't noticed. At the church basement, we sorted light bulbs and winter coats. We argued kindly about whether extension cords belong with electrical or miscellaneous. A deacon thanked us. It was nothing special, and somehow it was. That's what relief looks like here. Plain work beside the person who once broke your heart and now shows up to mend the day with you. If you're listening and you're my age or close, here's what I know now. Betrayal rearranges your house. It moves the furniture in the dark and you bruise your shins for a while. Heartbreak is the ache after you sit on the floor too long. Anger is useful for lifting the first beam. You can't build without strength. Regret will try to make every conversation a trial. Don't let it be the judge. And relief doesn't arrive with trumpets. It sneaks in when you notice you went half a day without checking whether the door was double locked. Would I have been okay walking away? Yes. I could have sold the house, learned another decent stew, and kept a tidy calendar with only my initials. Would that be peace? Also, yes. But this time, peace looked like two older people carrying boxes and laughing when a bag of hangers spilled. It looked like calling Claire about the volcano project and stopping for tomato seeds in January because hope is a habit. We still keep our rules. We still do Thursday coffee. We still say lonely out loud when it knocks. Linda still works at the theater, but the lights go out by 10 and I pick her up at the door like a date who cares about the ride home. Paul lives 2 towns over, and as far as I know, builds birdhouses and minds his yard. May he mend what's his to mend. May we keep mending what's ours. Sometimes when the house is quiet and the bench smells like cedar after rain, I think about the version of our life that never detoured through Baxter's. I miss it the way you miss a road you'll never drive again. Then I look at the road we did take. Potholes, repairs, fresh gravel, and I'm grateful for the miles we didn't quit. The map isn't as pretty, but the mileage is honest. I keep a short list taped inside the pantry door, right above the sugar. It says, tighten bolts before the chair squeaks. Oil the hinge before the door sticks. Ask one real question at dinner. Put the phone face up. Say thank you first. It isn't poetry. It's the maintenance manual I wish I'd written 20 years earlier. On our next porch morning, the quiet wasn't a punishment. It was a promise. The bench held steady. The light didn't flicker. Linda pointed out a wren at the feeder, and I told her the forecast without checking my phone. We sat there, two people who survived our worst day by telling the truth and telling it again when the day tried to forget. So here's my question for you. Men who still keep a paper calendar and can hear a furnace when it's about to sulk. If you caught your wife the way I did, would you forgive and rebuild, or would you walk away to protect your peace? There isn't a single right answer. There's the answer that lets your jaw unclench at night. There's the answer that turns the porch light steady. This was mine. If you've got a story like mine, write it down. Not for revenge, for clarity. Every nail goes straighter when you can see the line. And whether you stay or go, do the maintenance. Speak before silence speaks for you. Listen before pride raises its voice. And remember that ordinary Tuesdays are where a life is saved or squandered. The night back in May, I stood in Baxter's and kept my voice steady. I thought my life was ending. It wasn't. It was changing into a kind of honesty I wish I'd learned earlier. Today, the porch light holds steady. The bench is strong, the coffee is hot, and the quiet in this house is not a verdict anymore. It's an invitation.